we thought, look, what better way to celebrate video games, to celebrate Nintendo, than me and you coming up with a movie pitch for a Super Mario Brothers live action film.
There is no better way, Keenan.
There's no better way. Now, this isn't real, obviously. This is coming completely from our brains. We are each going to pitch a Super Mario Brothers live-action movie with actors, with a director, with a plot, and we're going to say why we think this would work and kind of where our ideas came from. Now, there was famously in the 90s a Mario Brothers movie that was so bad, I think they shot it into space to never be seen again. It was... undescribably awful, to where I've only seen bits and pieces of it, and I couldn't.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen the.
You
full
haven't watched this thing?
Have you?
Of course.
Okay, well, look, we don't need to talk.
I'm a true Nintendo fan.
That's not. Yeah, maybe they're not my favorite company, but anyway, Kaysen, Super Mario Brothers live action movie. I'm gonna let you start. Give me your cast for your main characters. Give me the plot, and just let me know what's going on with this thing.
All right, Keenan, here we go. Let me draw you into my world. So this movie, this movie needs to be everything a fan of Mario, a fan of Nintendo would want to see. My vision for this movie is that we are leaning hard into the references, into the humor that only fans of the games would get. We are sprinkling Easter eggs heavy. So, our main cast, we got Mario, of course, played by the one and only Marky Mark Wahlberg, who we've been talking about recently. He's a plumber. He's in New York City. He's getting the job done. He's got this kind of goofy, innocent, naive younger brother named Luigi, played by a man we've been talking about recently too, Andrew Garfield.
Ooh,
how do you feel about that casting?
I really like it. I like
That's
it.
Right.
I don't know, Marky Mark. I gotta think about. Hey, yo, I'm Super Mario. What's going on? Where's the fight?
That's exactly the vibe I want, man. Marky Mark is sort of, the older, tougher brother, but a little bit doofy, and then we got Andrew Garfield over here playing the kind of naive, innocent one who sometimes is a little more clever than he lets on.
Okay, I like it.
And so here's the plot. I don't want this damsel in distress plot line just, overdone, overplayed. I don't want that coming back to bite me. So we're kicking that out. Instead, Peach is going to be the name of their dog, okay? They got a dog named Peach. Here we go.
Jason, I don't know if the feminists are going to like that.
They're going to love it.
Okay.
They have a dog named Peach. Now, this idiot, I'm trying to think of an analogy, kind of like John Wick, where the main bad guy's son is the person who kills his dog.
Okay.
We got Bowser Jr. making the huge mistake of stealing these people's dog, okay? It's like some rare breed of dog. He thinks he's going to get a bunch of money for it, whatever. Bowser Jr., of course, played by Robert Pattinson, the one and only.
Ooh, that's good casting. That's good casting.
Thank you. So he's going to be stealing these guys' dog, and the entire plot of the movie is going to be Mario and Luigi, Wahlberg and Andrew Garfield, going on this epic journey, trying to track down Pattinson and get their dog back. Okay? You like where I'm going with this so far?
So far, I'm loving it, yeah.
All right.
Okay, I got some questions, but yeah, continue.
Okay, so I don't have a lot of specifics, but it's going to involve Luigi's girlfriend, Daisy, played by Daisy Ridley. How good is that casting?
Ooh, that is great casting. Okay.
Thank you. She's going to be in the movie. She's going to be tagging along with them. She's going to be a very capable female character who's going to be helping them out a lot. I decided to just get rid of Peach because she's so, she doesn't do anything in the game.
So Peach is, let me just back up here. Peach is literally their dog.
Yeah, Peach is literally their dog.
Okay.
Because then we can still have the Peach got kidnapped story, but without having it be some helpless.
Nice. Okay.
Woman.
Yep.
Yeah, and so basically they're going to go on an adventure. It's going to involve, of course, an epic car chase sequence where they get into some go-karts, ride around, chasing people down a highway in go-karts.
Classic.
Going to be awesome. It's going to involve, Mario accidentally, somehow stepping into a tank of turtles. That's going to be my reference, and he's going to be, stepping on their shells accidentally. That's going to be hilarious. We're going to have a scene of them going to a museum, and Mario is going to bust his head through a painting, of course.
Oh
That's
my
going to be a good
gosh.
little reference.
I love it.
They're going to go to an island, of course. Mario's going to use a water hose to try and clean up some stuff, to follow some clues. I don't know how it's going to go, but we're going to have references to all these different games. It's going to be awesome. Oh, and of course, they're going to get some help from their sort of estranged older brother, Wario, played by Jack Black, of course.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect.
He's kind of a weirdo, but he only comes in for a little bit. And then in the end of the movie, they're going to finally track down Bowser Jr., and that's when they finally run into the big villain himself, Bowser, played by Scorsese's favorite, Robert De Niro.
Oh my gosh, dude. Robert De Niro being Robert Pattinson's father?
That's right. How do you feel about that?
I really like it. I can definitely see De Niro I think he played the devil one time in a movie, so I could imagine him being a Bowser for sure.
Being a Bowser,
and
yeah.
Pattinson does kind of have a lizard-like quality.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Okay,
that's my pitch. We're not doing any weird fantasy stuff. We're not doing any people are mutating into turtles or whatever like the old movie. It's going to be totally in reality, just with a really goofy, lighthearted tone and a lot of sequences that are direct references to all of Mario's greatest hits.
Kaysen, I love it. I think there's some things that I don't know about, but
Okay. Fair.
Number one, the casting of Marky Mark as Mario is questionable. Now, in your movie, are they going to have Italian accents, or are they just going to talk normal?
No, well, I mean, Mark Wahlberg's going to talk like Mark Wahlberg.
Of course, obviously. What a dumb
They're
question.
just going to talk normal, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then number two, is this, what would the rating be? What kind of a rating are you going to give this?
Oh, this would be a PG for sure. Like a Sonic the Hedgehog kind of vibe.
Okay. I feel you. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I think that...
Thank you.
I think it's interesting. There's some things I don't like, which I'll get into when I drop my premise.
Okay. I'm very excited to hear your pitch.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Give it to me.
Kaysen, here we go. As mentioned earlier, I was a big fan of the movie Hook when I was a child. Now, everyone who's seen Hook knows the premise revolves around Peter Pan growing up into an adult Robin Williams and completely forgetting who he was and what he used to be and where he came from. This is the launch pad of my Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, let's start with the cast. Because now my characters are older, middle-aged grown-ups who don't remember their glory days in the Mushroom Kingdom. Let's start with the man himself, Mario. My Super Mario is played by none other than John C. Reilly.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Who's his brother? Who's Luigi? I think we know. We're bringing in Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, that is a really good choice.
He's tall, he's slender, give him the mustache. Kaysen, in my universe, Peach is not a dog. She is the classic Princess Peach that we know. I just feel like she's too iconic to not have in the movie, Kaysen. Who is capable of being feisty, sexy, dominant, and just badass, all encapsulated into one and super feminine? Let's go with Aunt May herself, Marissa Tomei, as Princess Peach.
Okay, I like that. So you're saying that in this movie, Peach is not going to be a damsel in distress?
Correct.
She's going to be... Okay.
Kaysen, next up, we have the casting of none other than Bowser himself. And I'm going to get into what all these characters are doing here, but who is playing Bowser, the most evil video game villain that we can think of? Bowser is going to be played by none other than Dave Bautista.
Okay, that I literally almost chose him. I'm not even joking. I was thinking him, but then when I picked Pattinson as my junior, I was like, I got to go with somebody older.
Yeah, because...
great choice.
I think Bautista's a great choice because you think about what he did as Drax and kind of that dry humor of just being so oblivious. I think if he brings some of that to Bowser, he could be so funny. Where he
100%.
is kind of this big intimidating lug, but he's also dumb and stupid and funny and just kind of over the top stupid. Now it's interesting you mentioned they have a dog because in my movie Yoshi is a dog and he is their dog. Okay. Here's the plot. 20 years ago, these brothers were in a quote unquote car accident. And they don't remember anything. They're just starting their lives from scratch in New York. They do live in New York like your movie. Now, what we find out is this car accident was a Mario Kart accident where they're in the Mushroom Kingdom, they're trying to save it from Bowser, and he takes them out with the blue shell. We get at this point, we don't get a flashback. We just get hints that they were in this accident. We find out later it was a kart accident. Blue shell nuked both of them, Kaysen.
Okay.
So first half of the movie, they're living their life in New York. Princess Peach lives in their building. They just call her nickname's Peach. They talk to her and stuff. There's this flirtatious energy, tension.
Wait, her nickname is Peach or her name is Peach?
Her nickname's Peach. I don't know what her real name would be. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Gotcha.
So they're talking. Her and Mario kind of have this flirtatious vibe going on. And we basically kind of get a first half of the movie that is just them realizing something's off, and Batista's kind of keeping an eye on them, just making sure that they're staying in this other realm, the realm of man, kind of like Sonic, right? Like they're in the realm. The humor is very funny. It's very PG-13-ish, kind of like Judd Apatow vibe is what I'm imagining. And that brings me to a character I forgot about, Toadstool. Who is playing Toadstool? Our boy. Actually, see, this is the thing. I was gonna say Seth Rogen, and I changed my mind. It's gonna be Jonah Hill.
Okay.
Jonah Hill is Toadstool. He is a total stoner who lives in their building, and he has like a high-pitched voice, just like Toad, and he's always like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And
like Towelie.
Exactly, like Towelie.
Okay.
So halfway through the movie, something happens. I haven't thought this deep into it, where they basically have a moment of reawakening. They find out who they are. They get sucked back into the Mushroom Kingdom, and the entire second half of this movie is just fan service out the wazoo. All the colors are vibrant and bright and popping. It's this total fantastical world that we know so well from Mario, and it's like just like Robin Williams had to learn to be Peter Pan again, Sacha Baron Cohen and John C. Reilly have to learn to be Mario and Luigi. Imagine these moments of like learning how to like jump in pipes again. And like imagine John C. Reilly like awkwardly crawling in a pipe, like trying to go down it. And they're no, like somebody's like, no, you just have to feel it, Mario. And he goes and like jumps and like breaks his legs on the pipe. And they're like, no, like you gotta feel it. And then finally he gets it, and we hear the iconic like pipe noise.
Yeah.
I'm imagining a scene where they like go down into the subterranean area and like it's all quiet and dark, and then we just hear this like dun-na-na-na-na.
And almost like filmed like a horror movie.
Yeah, and then Sacha Baron Cohen like looks at Mario and he's like, "Did you hear that?" Like they hear the audio cues.
Yeah, this is great. I like this.
Imagine a scene where they're like trying to learn how to jump on the flag and they're just like racking their nuts on it. Or like just there's so much humor you can derive from these like iconic things.
So is this going to be kind of a PG-13, really like juvenile humor type thing, where
kind
it's
of like
just kind of
edgy,
like trash humor?
No, maybe. I mean, maybe a little bit of that. And I'm imagining, like you said, because I like your idea of incorporating all the games. So like I want a scene where they're like on a golf course playing Mario Golf. You know? And I want a scene where like they're just going to different. Wouldn't it be funny if they just had a montage of them running from field to field? Like here's the soccer field. Here's like the tennis court, and they just quickly like grab one of the rackets and like play for like, I don't know. You could do a lot of fun stuff.
Or they're like running through all those areas and there are just little cameos of other characters like playing the games like around them.
Exactly, yeah. And then I want it to end with an iconic Mario Kart chase sequence, and they're going through all these iconic courses, whether it's Bowser's Castle, whatever. In the very last thing in the movie, the grand finale, Batista has now transformed into Bowser, right? He's on the cart. It's still Batista's voice, but we get this scene where they go through the tracks and it ends at Rainbow Road. And Bowser takes off, and then Mario and Luigi both stop because this is the scene of their accident. This is where he blue shelled them. Wow. And they look at each other and they're like, can we do it, brother? And then Luigi's like, Mario's like, let's-a go. And then
my gosh.
They just hit the gas, dude, and take off down Rainbow Road, and it's this neon-soaked rainbow of color as the movie ends and they're tracking down Bowser.
I love it. See, now I'm just like adding things into yours because I love your premise so much. Will it be like when they're in New York, they just talk like normal people, and then the longer they're in the Mushroom Kingdom, they start to almost like develop these weird little like Italian, you know what I mean?
See,
like,
I
like
love
where he
that.
just blurts out like, "Oh, like Mamma Mia," and then they're like, "What the heck was that?" It's like, yeah.
Like, I
And then
love
it's like,
that.
I don't know.
Because I didn't think John Riley could do an Italian accent. I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen could do a perfect accent, obviously. But, I love that. That's a great idea. And then, obviously, their dog Yoshi turns into regular Yoshi.
I was just going to ask that. Now, does Mario ride around on him?
I think it would be hilarious if there was a scene, and this is, again, kind of going back to the humor I'm talking about, where, like, John C. Reilly like tries to ride him and Yoshi just like immediately throws him off and like shakes his head at him like no.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
Because the humor is now John C. Reilly is this old super fat like out of shape guy who like cannot who shouldn't ever like get on the back of anything.
I love it, dude. I love it. So Marissa Tomei is just with them the whole time? Is Peach?
See, I guess I forgot to say, like, when Bowser, like, banished them to the thing, he, like, banished all of them. You know, like, Yoshi, Toad, Peach.
Yeah.
Mario, Luigi. Like, their whole crew.
I like it. So, okay. No Daisy, right? No Daisy?
No Daisy. I didn't really think of that. I also love your inclusion of Wario, who I didn't even think of. One character that could be in it that I was going to add was Bowser Jr., and I thought he could be played by that chubby kid from Deadpool 2, who was also in like Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah. That would be good, is Batista's kid.
Anyway, Kaysen, that's my Super Mario Brothers pitch.
I love that. Would there be a scene where they go into a mansion and Luigi is holding a vacuum cleaner and flashlight?
Yeah, there would have to be that scene. There would have to be a scene where Mario gets his butt on fire and he like frantically sprints around and he's like, yeah.
Can there be a scene where they walk into like a 3-dimensional version of like Battlefield from Smash, and then like some dude dressed like Link comes out, and then Mario's just like, no, like we're not going that far in this movie.
Yes.
And then he just like turns around and walks out.
I really did think how you would incorporate Smash Brothers, but yeah, that's a tough one. But I love your idea of like just teasing it, but then and you even hear the announcer like fight, and then Mario just walks. Mario walks off camera. He's like, no.
And then they play the sound effect for when you like forfeit the Smash Brothers game, where it's like, oh.
I love
like
it,
clapping.
dude. See, I just think John C. Reilly has such that perfect like innocence of like Mario. How you kind of look at him as being kind of this like dopey, like like reluctant hero, and then Sacha Baron Cohen. I mean, he can just do anything. He's such a chameleon, and he has the physical characteristics of a Luigi, I think.
I love it, man. I think that's spot on. I'm very impressed.
Anyway, that's it. Kaysen, that's our Super Mario Brothers live. We decided to do live action because I feel like that's so much more interesting than animated, which, by the way, Universal...
I was going to say, the animated one's actually coming out.
It is. Yeah, I'm scared about that. But I think it'll be great. I just hope they treat it with the right care and, you know, that it deserves.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure a corporate greedy conglomerate like Universal and whoever else, whatever else, DreamWorks or whatever is who are behind the Minions movies. They're going to treat it with the utmost respect and care, Kaysen.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I hope Steve Carell's the voice of Mario.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, Kaysen, let's move on to topic number 2 of our top 3 topics of the show. We talked about In the Heights.